See, know, and hear.
When you return that money, you hear the message.
Whatever is not yours, even if you kill yourself, it will not come. That's my opinion.
So do share the facts on Hard Fact.
Hard Fact.
Hard Fact. 3 to 6 p.m. live on 95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The place where you can get it all ready.
People are dropping on their vehicle and running their vehicle.
A place where you can views.
I want to report
Only on your number one station.
This is not the way. We cannot continue.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Abuja. Book.
This is Fact.
Hard Fact. On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
It's 8 minutes past 2 p.m. right here on Nigeria Info 94.1 Abuja. It's the first day in our happy new month to you that you're ready to win and conquer this month and make the best of it. Well, so had facts today. Hope that you have the time listening to Fire, to what's happening in Abuja, the sunny side, and right now we're here to get into some serialization as well, and to what is trending. The big story around in Nigeria, right? We'll start off with the Roundtable and gradually proceed with that until 7 o'clock. So we're going to have a lot of questions within that timeline. And to our that you can share your thoughts and your opinions by joining live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Do to subscribe to our YouTube form and join the conversation. You can also contribute via phone call, send a message. You can also via the live, so do also join in and be a part of the conversation. Our guest is Tony Itodo. He is a lawyer, and together we'll check out some of the he's making the rounds in Nigeria today on the radio from now up until 4:30. Welcome to you. There's always you that happened before you come through, and I'm sure you've got so much that you want to press on the round table today. Today is the second day of the ministerial screening, and it's as though seeing regular bow and go. We saw a lot of bow yesterday, even though we had a bit of and not a lot of answers that would have expected. But it's more that they got feedback. The senators got feedback, and they're trying to make the most of what's happening. So far, I was able to watch about 2 of the ministers, the nominees, been screened, and first was the governor of Ebonyi State, who is a senator right now, and the president of the Senate, Dave Mahi, and he was talked about. He wanted to read his resume, to I don't know, maybe brag or show off what he has achieved within the time. Because it's interesting to know that he was a former governor and then governor, and right now a senator. He's just been in government a very long time, but then put bow and go. And next was Wale Edun, who got a lot of questioning. He was there for a while. He used to be in government during the time that the president right now, governor of Lagos from 1999, he was asked to clarify in ways that he would improve Nigeria. Like he was said to have improved in terms of the economy, the financing, and his technology to improve all of that. And I mean, I got lost in the station, but he was able to give a bit of insight. Indeed, he becomes the Minister of Finance. But let's get your general thoughts first on screening, because we need to understand that it be business as usual. So a lot of people look forward to the screening and seeing that it's also being live. They were looking forward to a bit of back and forth, understanding these people, these nominees will bring into the team. But we don't seem to be getting that energy, and people are just, okay, it's business as usual. Nothing has really changed, even though we're promised that it will be a bit thick and not the usual thing we're used to.
Well, thank you very much. The screening has it's polling involved in the screening. There are people that are over-screened. There are people that are under-screened. There are people who just take a bow and go. And I don't know why we have it here in the rule that if you have been a member of parliament, you should take a bow and go. Well, I don't see how it doesn't at all. Even if at the state level, if you have been House of Assembly member and before, they'll ask you to take a bow and go. And you should bow and go because you are being nominated to work in the executive arm. You understand? If it was still something to the legislature understand if they say just take a bow and go because parents and all of that. You don't have it there. You understand? So to know exactly your knowledge of going, even if the portfolio is not touched. People have argued that it be attached so that they can know exactly.
A specific questioning to that.
Yeah,
effect.
but there's another argument also which makes sense. You understand that because you could even have a portfolio to you, but it's the discretion to still later, even after he has posted you to your area of relevance. Okay, he could still or to an area which you have proficient. You understand where you are proficient. Maybe you are a journalist now, and you could send to Ministry of Information. But later, maybe a year later, the president can post it to another department, another ministry. You have to go back to Senate to training. No. So I think that a media is actually, except there are some specific areas. Apart from that, any intelligent person should function in any ministry, because generally administration. You understand? What you need are people with the skills, and that's what there are areas, the specific areas you need to send an expert. For instance, you know that you can't send somebody who is not a lawyer to Ministry of this. You need someone who is cool knowledge in that area. You need someone in health. You know who has knowledge of the health. Okay? It doesn't have to be a doctor. Anyone in that area. It can be a pharmacist, it can be a nurse, it can be any of those. You are in that area. Those are very special areas, you know. Which area again? Okay, in finance. You can't send anyone to finance. You need an expert. You need someone like Wale. And I think that the reason Wale is really screened is because he's an expert. And we have real financial issues right now, okay, in the country. So he's an expert. That's his area. And I think they just hear a lot, from him. If you ask me, I will tell you, he's one of the people that I gave pass mark. Even before coming there, you know him. He's coming from somewhere. He has he's an intelligent person.
Now, let's to some of these nominees who were unable to respond to some questions into age, taxation, all of that, their education as well. The dates were not matching what they were in. And there's the worry that how they respond to these questions will still be, move on and become ministers eventually. Do you feel like issues should be addressed, and if unable to satisfy the requirement, can be dropped at least eventually, not knowing how long that would be, because we're still waiting on 11 states to still get nominees, and we're told that we would expect between 12 and 13 names in the next batch of names that will be sent to the Senate.
Itodo, it's a shame the way. Well, you see, when they haven't finished screening. When they finish, they'll start confirmation. I think it's a shame that someone will appear before the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and you'll be discrepancies over your age. I don't know any interview that is higher than this in Nigeria. The highest. This is the highest. This,
in terms of purpose?
Yes. This, maybe being a judge, with interview to be a judge, and this is even, I don't know what to call it, worse, because it's worse for you because it's been beamed live. People are watching you from almost all over the world. Nigerian can watch you from wherever. You understand? And then you come there and you don't know your age. You are saying you are so and so, yes, you are. And then so like unfortunately, the man from the state yesterday, fortunately. And I felt when a senator, to help him. So, I think the reason this is topographical errors. And I was like, you shouldn't be speaking for him. In the first place, he's senator. His senator should be doing if there was need to do that. In any case, we're talking about professor.
That was a major concern.
It's not if it's a small boy, if it's once your son in primary school, then you could be saying, in fact, if I had it, who appeared at that place, who is an adult, I should be ashamed that what is topical? You mean you just carried your CV and brought it, you go through it? When you are before an August committee of an institution like the Senate, you didn't do something. And they asked you, were you old when you started primary school? And so I think that I felt bad because that was a professor, and I asked yesterday, I said, can you see why people are taking their children? Because these are people who are supposed to be teaching children.
So does this bring a bit of into his educational history and everything that he's achieved over the years?
The thing is that there's a question mark. Okay, so it's now left to, I don't know how they're going to do that, but like I said, it's all politics. he's someone's candidate. The person, as at the time they finish, as at yesterday, will be running around, see that declare, it was this, it was that. So all the people there, look, only a few people are looking at where they are coming from. If you look at someone like, you ask Wike to take a bow and go, I can understand.
And what's that? Why does he get to take a bow? Others can't do say.
What are you going to ask Wike? Tell me now. What are you asking him? He's been a minister before. He was a governor. And Wike clearly was, or if you look at that list, he's clearly the most popular person here. Everyone knows about Wike. Everyone knows what he has achieved. Everyone knows about his projects. It's like I said, he was every day commissioning. In fact, some commission like twice. Every day. Tell me, I don't know any big man in Nigeria who didn't commission a project. So what are you asking him? I mean, when you don't know, so we are asking you because we don't know you. We don't know about you. Maybe we don't see you on TV.
What you're saying right now is it's okay for some to get that preferred treatment because you're known for what they've achieved.
I've earned it.
Not everybody else.
Yes, I've earned it. Okay, just like now, I know you, Itodo, or somewhere and they are doing, and if you come from where I am, if I was the only one, I would just Itodo, because if it's about this job,
interview.
Yeah, that's what.
In an interview, you should answer questions. You should respond to questions so that people are certain that you're able to deliver on that job. But because you know me, you're familiar with me, you tell me, you can go, and then eventually able to deliver on that job. Itodo. What was the point of screening in the first place?
You see something. Why would he not deliver? Which job him that he will not deliver? Somebody that has delivered already has bad. I mean, compared to all his other people.
Not just him, I'm speaking about others as well.
I'm speaking for him, not everyone.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for him.
Okay.
You understand? He has been in the executive. He's been an executive man all along. Okay? And where you are sending him to you are sending him back to familiar terrain. It's the people who have only been in the legislature who are going to executive asking to take a bow. Say no, you should ask him questions. Let him answer some questions about where he's going, whether his experience. We know that here is good already. We have about where he's going. So you should answer a few questions. Okay? But then, like I told you, what they do. I don't have any misgivings about his they overscreened him. They took time. You could see that he was up to. You understand? Yes. So screen him, fine. All right. I was talking about someone like Wike. We all know him. He's not somebody that okay. Many of the people there we don't know them now. People that know that maybe I've heard about them. Some of them there we don't know. So when you are dealing with somebody who has done very well, and I know there are people that don't like him because he has played. They say he's too contrite to this. I understand that. Okay, but I mean, if you ask him to look when Itodo Ogbe appeared before the Senate, 2015. They asked him a few questions. He just gave a few answers. I mean, very intelligent answers. They take a bow. There's no need to continue. When you ask some people, you understand, you know that this is a man who he's a farmer. They sent him to the Ministry of Agriculture. I also listened to him yesterday when he was talking about farming. When it comes to farming, if you listen to someone like Itodo Ogbe to talk about farming, you know, I mean that forte. He doesn't have them with that area, you know. So he answered and I just asked him to take a bow and go, sir, so that we don't wasting time. You understand? In any way, case you are going to screen him, you are going to see, and confirm him. So why they have so many other persons? Right. So I think the idea is the screening so far so good. Okay.
It's impressive for you what they can do more.
Well, no, of course they can. Like I said, there are people that they don't like politics very before they got there. They've seen you. You know, this is my candidate. This is our candidate. This is our state. You know, they talk to other people. You know, they wet the ground for them. And so when they come, they know that some of them are not very intelligent. You understand? But you see, again, let me tell you this. Let's also be very careful not to miss the point. The fact that you question brilliantly sometimes doesn't mean you are going to. You understand?
Yes.
It doesn't. That's why I'm saying with Wike, leave the audience.
You seem to be all on Wike's wings
with
right
someone
now.
like him. That's why you see, I'm specifically talking about Wike. Oledu. You understand?
Those are the ones that have impressed you so far.
Yes.
Before we go on with more of your thoughts, we go on a break right now. You can join the conversation via Facebook and YouTube streaming platforms at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can also send a message to our WhatsApp number 8099900137.
This is Nigeria Info.
Hello, my name is Kimberly, host of Hard Facts, and with the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
is Nigeria Info.
Senatorial, the Senate's ministerial screening for nominees, and so St. David Umahi of Adebayo Lawale Adun of Ogun, Nasarai of Kaduna, Ahmed Musangiwa of Katsina, and currently being screened as Chief Uche Geoffrey Naji from Enugu. So we'll be getting nominees from Delta, Ekiti, Oyo, Niger, Imo, Kwara, Akwa Ibom, and Katsina, who would also get screened is day 2. Now get some thoughts and reactions to the ministerial ongoing right now. You can station on WhatsApp. We're also live on Facebook at Nigeria in Abuja before we move to the next story. And so when you call in from your device, station and your location, and kindly go straight to the point. You can call 000-951-0000. 08095974869 or send a WhatsApp message. Call via WhatsApp 0099930137. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, Kingsley. Go ahead.
Yeah, concerning this area screening, Constitution gets 60 days for a present his minister. Hello.
Go ahead, Kingsley.
I'm not convinced of releasing the ministers in badges is constitutional. I think all the laws should be presented, but not in badges.
Okay.
You know, read the constitution. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, Connection is not great, so do you want to call back? We can barely make out what you're saying. If you can, please call back. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Itodo.
Welcome.
My name is Comrade Salis.
Hi, comrade.
You know what is going on ground? You know, we are practicing Israel democracy and democracy dictator. This is what means is to combat the what you are practicing that.
What do you mean?
Now, hello?
What do you mean by that, man? We're trying to understand what you're trying to get at what you just made.
Israel democracy means that when you want to win election, hold money to win election. When you use hold money to win election, that's what as usual. Also, you cannot do anything. You always put people that help you to win the election. Your friends are here.
So, comrade, what exactly is your point of this reacting to the ministerial screening now?
That's in the Senate now. Want to do the right thing in Nigeria, they do it, and they will come to minister. They are not people that are supposed to be there. I've started before. So is there only them in this country? Them is not supposed to be there. Even them. Even the out there, they are old. Let us go home. Let the young to come.
All right.
What is it? The case we are practicing.
All
I'm not saying this actually. We need to change our attitude.
All right. Good afternoon. Yes, welcome.
Can you hear me now?
It's a lot ahead.
For me, our issue of appointment, we Nigerians need to raise up to tell the National Assembly to make the law. You know everything now we have been telling them to do. To make law, any president want to send the nominee, they should attach portfolio to just like what Mr. Itodo said. Like US, if the president wants to change the office of minister, you have to go back to the Senate. In Nigeria, there's nothing like that. Minister just wait tomorrow from a foreign affairs to Minister of Interior. And nobody, I think we need to make the law that in case you want to change your substantive minister from education to like to send the person, he or she back to the family to screen them. But it is unfortunate in this country. All those who are in National Assembly, just like what Mr. Itodo was talking about, the nominee from Benue. Also, they don't have certificates. So, you know, it's not allegedly.
That's an unfair. That's an statement to generalize everyone in one box.
Okay, allegedly. I say many of them. Okay, Itodo, you agree with me. Let some of them bring their certificate from primary to secondary. Many of them will not get this. Look at former Chief Justice of the Federation. He might destroy his school certificate. This will hear from me.
All right.
Former President, his certificate is with Babangida, is with up to today. They are all the same. Maggie, engineer, professor, 1982, 90. You don't know when they born him. This is too More is coming.
All right, Adewumi, thank you. Let's have you address real quick, and that's sending the It's in batches. Now, President had a 60-day timeline according to the Constitution, and he sent a first batch before the 60 days lapse. Does that go against the Constitution? Because the expectation will be for him to send all the names required by the law. But now, first batch has been sent, and now we're still waiting on the second batch with more names for more states that haven't been represented yet. So is that against the Constitution anyway? What does the law say about that?
Well, there are schools of thought. There are people that believe that was a violation of the Constitution. Okay, but you see, the Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, states that issue the bonds and ministers that from the day they are sworn in have 60 days to send the list of ministers or commissioners, either to assembly or to the. But I can't remember if that constitution also is silent on what happened. Don't do even. Assuming the president has not even sent it.
So no penalties for not adhering to that.
They should just send it. Maybe because Buhari did, waiting for 6 months. Felt that was too much. Okay, and so they can't say anything. It's just quiet. It's just silent. What do you do? Nothing. So he has just sent 20. So he's remaining 11 or so to make it 36. I think that at this time when the president spoke to us yesterday, telling us to bend with him, he feels what we're going through and all of that. I think this is a time when we would have cut down on this.
But cutting mean more states will be affected by not seeing ministers to represent.
No, but some states already have. The Constitution says one state.
Yes.
But some states, we are seeing some states with 2. Isn't that too much? It's much. And I think that I am one of those who propose that the Constitution should be amended. That section of the Constitution should be amended. This doesn't have to come from every state. No. You see, what is angering the people, making the people angry? You understand?
But if there were to be the where not every state has a minister to represent them, right? There will be that of when we're not properly represented.
No.
We're left behind or left on the side.
We have enough vacancies to go through. You don't have to be a minister. You can be regional. Let's do it. Let's from each region. If we take 2 from each region, it's okay. We have how many? 6.
And if you're effective enough to deliver.
So let's do like 12. If we do like 12, okay? If maybe next time they will pick for, you understand, for states that don't have ministers, that are other that they can have. There are DGs, there are chairmen of parastate agents. They can do that. You see, let's leave all this settlement. These ministers have been representing you from your state. What has changed about your life? No, you are who you are because of God has helped you to achieve. No, it's not because of any minister that you are here. You understand? Look at America. Look at the size of America. So we're wasting too much money here. See, America has 2 senators per state. We have 3 per state. America is the size of West Africa. You understand? Yet they have look at the just 100 senators. Look at the size. I tell people, look, from New York to Hawaii is almost a 12 hours flight. I tell you the size of America. 12 hours. That was you can go to London and come but still flying in this country. Look at that huge size. America has about 6 or 7 time zones. It can be morning here. In another part is the day. In another part is night. In another part they are sleeping. The US is almost a continent of its own on its own. Do you understand? Look at that side. Do you know how many ministers they have? 15. The whole of America, just 15 ministers. 15. They are called secretaries. The transport secretary, the housing secretary, defense secretary. 15. We have 30. And that 36 is the maximum. And when we're still adding, some still have 2. Well, after they've done 36, they'll now do a regional one from each state. And we're talking about stuff governance. People are suffering. Do you understand? All of this is money. We have ministers. Do you know how much we spend on each minister? Each minister is going to have at least maybe 4 or 5 cars in his convoy. We're paying.
Let's put a pause on this particular topic, more like a headline, and go on first, then go back to the president's address from yesterday. There are a lot of reservations as to what he said and left unsaid as well.
Yeah.
Let's get reactions via the WhatsApp platform right now to this. And on YouTube, Olubiodun says, Mr. Tony, Wike is a well-known in Nigeria. His work speaks for him, but the other professors to be ready for the position. Okay, and what a collabo Kamata from Orokam. Thanks for joining. Leo says, I totally agree with your guest. Because the individual is known, and as such, he asked question in an interview. After all, he performed very well in 1985. And same is said about his second coming that just ended. Wiki performing does not mean that he would do same as
who said he did
minister.
very well in 1985?
That's his opinion, and he has a right to it. The Patriot says, can those states that don't just go to court because we have a way of acting around our laws, not sending name and badges? And Wike was once Minister of Education. He did well. That's the reason.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
I disagree.
That's what just
Minister of State. He wasn't a Minister of Education. He was a junior minister.
Yes.
Minister of State. That was minister.
But I mean, it's a minister. There's something expected of you. Even
but you can see why Keyamo was saying that phase is not really relevant. And you see, that's what we want to do now. We want to stick. We don't have 30. I'm not sure. We don't have 36. So even if we did it, there will still be ministers of state, which is not relevant. We're just spending money. Okay.
From Guag says, what we have seen so far is incompetent screening. All the hype around ability to sports talents is not really believable. It's shameful that we're going. Okay. All right, Joe. Thanks for your thoughts, right? And Balasianovic from Maytays concerning nominees' interview, screening. The nomination protocol is a system. That's why some asked to take a bow. The Nigerian democracy is patterned to the American democracy. Concerning the defense address, it's so shallow and substance. Speaking of that, let's get to it. What stood out for you? Because the announcement was made and the time given, a handful of Nigerians looked forward to it. To expect, but the fact that probably address some of the major concerns in terms of the economy, what Nigerians are going through following the removal of the fuel subsidy and affects every other thing that we have to handle. But what are some things that stood out for you?
Well, thanks, Itodo. Before I said that, when I was about cost cutting governance, well, it still had to do with this. Mr. Penn's speech was yesterday. Because was asked to understand. Okay, so yesterday we have listened to him, and I think that that speech yesterday, which also have a polyphonic conversation with the president. And I'm sure that he's been listening to a lot of, I don't know if he's listening, but I think I want to believe, and with listeners are also listening, they're getting a lot of opinions, on the, what have you. See, first of all, reason people are not happy, okay? He didn't talk about the cost of governance while he was asking us to.
That's the money saved that. Yes. Because we only got what was saved from subsidy being removed.
Yes. He didn't tell out, this is, he didn't talk about the cost of governance, which, like I said, you see, people would have been a little impressed if I said, well, because of this, taking this action about the cost of governance, these steps. Well, this is the number of ministers, when this is the number of this is what we are doing. We're merging the ministry with this one, and it's not just the president.
But mentioned
it's not just the president.
He's mentioned chief of staff that they would be merging ministries and separating some of those as well.
Maybe that's what they said. But we're having how many ministers now? 28. They said 13. Are we limiting? Are we going to have 3 ministers? And it's not just the president. Look at the states. Commissioners doing with 22 commissioners. States.
The governors.
I'm sorry, the governors. 20 commissioners. I've seen some 22. I've seen some 3, almost 10 commissioners. You're wasting money. You're just wasting money at a very critical time when people are going through a lot. We're talking about the governance. You are increasing the cost of governance.
No, but wouldn't you say that's a means to create employment? Because if those positions are not available, that means the job.
No, those people, they're not looking for work.
Well, you never know.
Somebody is not somebody who is just fresh out of school.
With the way things are right now, there are people who are looking for various means to survive. That could be one for them.
You see, that argument is very porous. If we put all that money, imagine if we put that money in the country. Now, these are just coming. We're not talking about AIDS. I've seen most of them appoint 1,008. You understand?
They're the same role.
Yes. If we put all these monies together in the country, imagine it will fix infrastructure, it will fix school, and we'll be talking about even this palliative first subsidy. Now, our president's speech yesterday was largely predicated on fuel subsidy issues, the removal and all of them. I'm talking about palliatives. Mike, is this. You can't be giving us palliatives, okay? Something that belongs to us. Someone saying, I mean, it's our oil. It's not like we don't have oil, and they have this oil from outside the country. They said they take the oil to Benin Republic and to other countries. They are selling it at the price that we sell here, and all that excuse that to remove the subsidy and all of that. We're not the kind of country. We have the oil here in soft quantity. We have refinery. So why should we be? Why should they be giving us palliative? It's like something like backyard. Somebody's giving you palliative on it. No, now Look, palliative that we use. Do we even know? Do you know the meaning of palliative?
Well, maybe you want to give us a bit of education on that.
Yes, okay. A palliative is a medical term that is a kind of that is given to a patient. Okay, that is given to a patient to it's like a painkiller. Okay, to reduce the pain when the condition is not even. You're not even thinking about when the, how do I put it?
So relieve symptoms of ailment.
When the condition is curable or something like that.
Okay.
You understand? Like, so it's just like people who are on pills like high blood pressure pills. You know, they tell you if you're on BP drugs, there are no cure. You understand? That is what is that kind of thing. So look, this thing doesn't have cure. This thing we have not found this, but just taking this one. Yeah. So when they pay, and it's like someone who goes surgery, like when a woman goes. You know, they open her, they bring the baby, and they're giving her this anesthesia or anesthetics or whatever injection that they just give to them just to cool down the pain. You know, and when they cool down, when they give them that something, I think after a few hours they'll have to come again and the same injection again. It's just a pain reliever, and they'll tell you that is supposed to last for certain hours. So after some time, it begins to wear off. So when it doesn't last up to that number of hours,
So
and they cannot give you back.
In all you're saying, right?
Yes.
The palliative is not going to.
It's not a
anything.
solution. It doesn't. Yes, it's not a permanent cure to the problem. You understand what I'm saying?
But they never said it was permanent until things improve. That's the aim of the palliative. Until the economy improves and can find their footing again.
But the question, Itodo, you see, how is it going to improve when the naira has been floating, it's just going up? Who knows what will happen? Who knows what will happen next month? Remember, you started with 517. Now we're at 617. Is that also? We can still go to. Experts have said we can hit 1,000.
That's the fuel pump price right now.
Yes. Understand? So as the thing keeps going, government will be making money. Government will be making, like the president said today, they have saved about $1 trillion. But government will be making. But how about the people? How about the people? About the consequences? The president did not say anything about fixing refinery. I thought he was going to say, well, give us like 6 months. Yeah, I have directed. Okay, that the refineries must be fixed by so time.
That's what the NLC is insisting on up from tomorrow.
Refineries, he didn't say anything about refineries.
Yeah.
Nothing. Let me tell you something. Maybe by the time people start funding proper, you can tell us how much school fees is now. I got from my school 100,000 per child. 100,000.
That's per term.
Yes, added.
Oh, that's an increase.
Yeah, that's the new school fees. They added 100,000 naira to whatever you are paying before. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if you have like four children, if you have like 3 children, that's 3,000 added to whatever you are paying, maybe 400,000 or 300,000 before. You have additional 100,000 per child. What is government doing to these proprietors of schools? It's just like they just left Nigeria. Just like your own.
No, but are they going to be able to regulate private schools? How much they should charge?
Private schools are they're not an island. Private schools, island on their own. They're regulated.
But they're also going through the hard time. That'll be a reason why the board to
now pass it to the Nigerian. What do? You tell me you don't want your children to go to? Is this not more a problem? You don't want children to go to school again. Parents will not be able to afford it. So that is why the government should talk to these private proprietors. You understand? Okay, yes, we understand that money has gone up and the things. Look, in any case, these private schools, the money they were making, they already killed. Yes, look at the exorbitant fees that they've been charging since they just look for the slight and give them that. It's just like government set the penalty for them. You understand?
Yeah.
So this one, they just instead of adding like maybe 20,000 or 30,000, you understand? They just said 100,000. And I don't know if the Ministry of Education is listening, or the FCT and also other government, but they need to intervene. They need to step. They need to call these guys to order. Okay? Look at this. Looking like development fee. What is development fee in schools? It's about this thing. Why would you be asked to pay development fee in schools and have the guts to increase development fee?
Before you took your child to that school,
tuition fee, and they are paying them development fee to develop your school, and then you're even increasing the fare for developing the school. Don't you think that government ought to call them and say the meaning of this? After all, so police money for books, they increase money for some fee, they increase bus fee, they increase money for all kinds of things. All kinds.
And one wonders how parents will handle all of this from the next session in September.
I was with some of my friends.
Yes.
They were all lamenting. Everyone, they were lamenting seriously. Okay, one, I saw, there was a man yesterday, a senior lawyer. Right now, he said he bought 10,000. He was putting 10,000. 10,000 would bring him to town, take him back before I finish. He did that for a few days.
Is that per day?
Yes, per day, 10,000, park the car. So that's why I'm saying, President, sir, don't you say you for but I'm with due respect, sir, I don't think what we're feeling. This is what people are going here on this side of the aisle. So please, if you say this thing cannot be reversed, but I think that the best thing to do right now is to reverse this thing. I'm telling you.
Reversing it means we're going to go back to
Itodo. Somebody came to work for. Someone came to work for.
Okay.
An elderly man. He told me that he used to have a house somewhere. I don't know, but he was able to just build a 16. Said he had a room house somewhere. He was using some rent. They demolished the place and he moved one ladder somewhere in Gwagwala. If you know the specialist hospital, there's this hospital in front of the hospital going down. So he said that's where he comes from. He said it's Okada from that village inside there to 500. Then 1 time to town.
Every day.
1.5 to town, 1.5 back. That's 1,000. How can he cope? He's not going to cope. Right now, see the number of calls. The reason they took big that this thing is for the rich and all of that. How many rich people are suffering? Not the rich. They have dollars. They've kept dollars in different. It's not the reason the rich. Okay, the reason the rich are complaining at all because of the pressure now on them from even the people, everybody calling them. They are scared that look, if this until like this, even they can't be safe now. If the jobs, if people are poor, people are hungry, that's also another insecurity. So you are exacerbating even the things that we already have on ground. You understand? So if you look at it, I wish and just I think that there's an intelligent thing to do. Because you know what? If you fix rates and they are working, we are processing oil here, let the refinery subsidy. There will be no subsidy now. We should be good. Do you know that this excuse that they are taking, one of the reasons that the borders are porous, and so they're taking fuel to
neighboring countries.
While selling here at 190 something, they are selling there at over 5. It's very easy. It's Itodo. You know what you do as president? All I do is directly with that country. Have an agreement with them and take directly to them, and don't allow people to bring fuel to Abuja here. They are now
rerouting
it to other countries. Okay. No, just deal and sell to them at that same price we're selling to them. Actually, they don't have it. We have it.
Let's take some comments before.
So that solves that problem.
Okay, let's take some comments real quick before we go on a break. 08099300137. That is the WhatsApp number. Dual to include your name and this land map plan, price in business, and what is happening now is a bad example. Right there. I know everyone has their own opinion. Clement from Central Area. Healthcare focuses on relief of patients. Okay, so what was trying to help you with the definition into what palliative is. And John Chimikel says, Mr. Tice, but this government might be laughable using the same players in a different football's name. What are they for? What are people like Wike, El Rufai doing the ministerial list? That's the question that he is asking. And we don't need ministers' number for a country to develop. We have corruption and insensitivity of leaders. Triple D from. Let's go on this break.
This Nigeria Info.